Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing my final review for AMC's original The Walking Dead television series, because this is now for the series finale, Season 11, Episode 24, Rest in Peace. Alright dudes, so spoiler warning if you have not seen the final episode of the Walking Dead television series as of yet. So tonight is the night, today is the day we get to finally see the much anticipated series finale for the Walking Dead television series. So, oh man, what an amazing episode. I want to say pretty much a perfect ending for what you would want to see, I think, for Walking Dead in its final episode. This was the extended episode. It's more like an episode and a half or almost 2 episodes. It's super fast-paced. It's exciting. You have tons of action. And we do get sort of a mini time skip. And then finally, like I said, spoilers, we get to see maybe the last 5 minutes or so with the return of Michonne and Rick. Now, from the way they did the scenes in this one, it kind of feels like Michonne and Rick are not actually in the same location. Like, Michonne is out there. She's actually still looking for Rick. And, you know, Rick, it seems like, has been forced to join the CRM. He's been trying to escape, but it looks like so far he's not been able to. He's got kind of like a CRM jacket on, so this is like CRM Rick. And, man, this is such an incredible episode. So, with these last 8 episodes of Season 11, with Part 3, the 24-episode extended season, I was a little bit not sure recently about the pacing as we're seeing these episodes finish off and seeing things come through to a finale here. But after watching this one through, I can say that I'm very happy with the way they did it. They could have extended these 8 episodes out and pretty much did them to be a 16-episode final season if they really wanted to. But the way it works out with this final episode after seeing it is basically they just took out any possible filler. There's pretty much no filler in the last 8 episodes. It's just you know, going through the comic book storyline for Rest in Peace, getting to see the finish up to the original comic storyline, and then a short setup near the end there for you know, the spin-off series that we're going to see what comes after. So this is a great ending episode for The Walking Dead. This basically ties up, I think, most of the loose ends, or almost all of them, with the series. It gives us an awesome climactic finale for the Commonwealth with Pamela, with everybody else, Mercer, the Gate, those that are injured in the battles, and kind of a climax for the civil unrest in the Commonwealth. You know, everything that's been going on there with Pamela and her regime. We even get to see Zombie Lance show up in another awesome scene as well, which is really cool. And then it gives us a nice sort of mini time skip happy ending, so post happy ending type of thing after getting to see, you know, things play out. And then after that, we get to see our survivors kind of go their separate ways. You know, maybe them settle into kind of their new life at the Commonwealth, each of them having respective positions, respective jobs, like Ezekiel, for example, who is the new leader, the new governor of the Commonwealth, which I thought was an awesome ending for him and made absolutely perfect sense. To see him in that role is really cool. And then to see kind of Daryl and everybody else sort of go off their separate ways, with ending off with the final scenes, getting to find out that Rick is still alive, as we kind of knew, but finally getting to see Rick again, since it's been like, I think, 4.5 years or so since he left, you know, near the beginning there of The Walking Dead Season 9. So very happy with this finale episode to see how they were able to wrap everything up here. I'm very impressed with how much they were able to. It's an extended episodes, but it's absolutely jam-packed. We do get to see a few kind of major character deaths in this one, the biggest of which being Rosita for sure. This being her final episode, I guess, Christian's final episode for The Walking Dead. You know, kind of had wondered why she wasn't announced for any of the spin-off series, you know, and now we get to kind of see why. I'm thinking like Eugene and the others will probably, if they're in the spin-off series, maybe Carol would be another one for that too. They'll probably just be like back at the, you know, back at the Commonwealth. We may see them for kind of like an intro or something, but you sort of get the sense that we've seen Daryl leave now, so it's sort of like it finishes off the storyline. You have happy final moments for Rosita and the others. You kind of have super sad moments at the same time too, which sort of like reflect the series ending as well. So you have like the funeral for Rosita and all the stuff that's involved with that, Gabriel, the others finding out. So you have like this incredible mixed emotions in this episode of, you know, very sad to see it end, exciting to see the final scenes play through, and then awesome setup for what they're going to be doing with the spin-off series. But the sad, some very, very sad scenes for what's involved with Rosita. And like I said, spoilers. So she gets bitten, basically, is what happens. So we also have Jules and Luke who get kind of devoured, sort of. Jules does. Luke sort of does to a degree, but then he kind of like, you know, he kind of gets out of there, but then isn't able to survive afterwards. We do see Judith survive in this one, which I sort of had predicted. I thought they might swerve us and have Lydia not survive, but Lydia also survives too, which it makes sense to have like the younger characters survive, because if they want to use them in any of the spin-off series in the future, even years down the road, they'll have the option to do that. I'm kind of surprised they actually, I'm kind of surprised they went through with Rosita being killed off, but at the same time, it is The Walking Dead, so you probably want to have, just for balance, you want to have like one major character death at the end. You know, not everybody's going to be in the spin-off series. An example would be Carol. Carol's one of the biggest characters in The Walking Dead, but based on the way things have been going, it kind of sounds like she will probably not be a focus character in any of the spin-off series. So those are sad scenes to play through. I did skip through a little bit of them with Rosita and the others finding out, and then the funeral, all that stuff. It's so sad. I don't want to get too sad because I'm already sad enough The Walking Dead is ending. But at least, you know, she survives up to the last episode, so that's awesome. And it just kind of goes along with the series ending, so it feels like it's sort of like a character representation of The Walking Dead original series ending overall. So let's go scene by scene for the review. We'll break this one down, give our thoughts on each part. So we start things off. We have Daryl and Judith, with Daryl kind of going into the hospital at the Commonwealth and shouting for someone to help them. He kind of fights off some guards, it looks like, from what we can see from the angle of Judith, and then sort of falls down, and both of them kind of fall down in the hallway, but are able to sort of close off sections. Judith is able to sort of close off some of the glass doors in time before the walkers kind of get through. We have the intro, and then we get to see the stuff with Luke and Jules, as we mentioned, which is pretty brutal for Jules especially. She gets kind of Noah-style devoured by a bunch of zombies, which is really brutal. You have Pamela and the others have gone to like a gated community and kind of closed themselves off, while the other, you know, people in the Commonwealth sort of get kind of stuck with all the walkers inside. You have Carol and Daryl, they're kind of waiting and everything. There's also a walker that like smashes the glass with a rock in this one, which is really cool. Somewhat like a smart walker or something, which is really, really sweet. You know, just to see them kind of use that again. They haven't done it for a long time. So the smart walkers in the finale here, I think, you know, really added a lot to making it even more exciting. You have zombies everywhere. You have some of them smashing glass. You have some of them doing, you know, other things, climbing and stuff. It is really cool. We get the scenes with Rosita, where at some point here she must have been bitten on the her, I think it's her left shoulder blade, I suppose. So she saves Coco. She kind of goes up on one of the vehicles there. Is it like a mini rescue vehicle? And, you know, they eventually jump across. So this is kind of the scene that we had seen in the previews that we were wondering about with Rosita. Would she fall or not? It's sort of like she kind of falls and then fights her way out and then is able to jump the next time and get over. So it's sort of like it's really a good way to do it. they did like a double fake out. So first, it seems like she falls down and she's going to be devoured by the zombies there, like Jules is, just the same way, with the baby at the front too, which makes it even worse because then it's a double. But then she fights her way out, so it seems like, okay, oh no, she's gonna, so it's a fake out death, right? And then she gets up there, she jumps across, and then they swerve us again, because then it reveals after that maybe when she fell the first time or at some point in the scuffle, she does get bitten by one of the walkers there at some point. So it's not just a fake out, it's a double negative, or it's a double fake out, right? It's okay. So what's the logic here? So does she survive? No, she falls, but then, oh, that was a fake out, so she does survive, but then, oh, no, she doesn't. Again, we search again. Double swerve, because, double fake out, double swerve, because she got bitten as part of it, but we didn't see it until after. So it was exciting, that's for sure. And, they kind of outsmarted me, because then I'm watching halfway through, and I'm like, oh, I knew it. She does survive. I knew it. And then it reveals after, no, you're wrong, Trev. We got you. We got you, dude. We got you. So it was cool, but the scenes are really exciting and everything, and it was great. It is the ending episode, so you kind of have to, you expect to see stuff like that. We've got Aaron and Lydia kind of reuniting. Negan is going to attempt to assassinate Pamela with the rifle. Maggie is going to go with him. They're going to do it together, and they end up later on not even having to do that, and Maggie instead takes a shot to kill Lance so that Pamela does not suicide herself. So Pamela, not the strongest villain The Walking Dead has ever seen. She can't even kill herself properly without somebody stopping her from doing it. So she just seems, by the end, she just seems totally, weak and incapable of following through with anything. That's what I want to say. So that's what it is. So she gets shot with the rifle. The zombie Lance is awesome, though, because you see the arrow and you see him chomping at the gate and everything, and it's freaking really sweet. We got Ezekiel and Mercer. So they kind of team up. We see later on Ezekiel becomes the new governor, and Mercer has some awesome parts in this one. We also get Daryl. So Daryl gets kind of the epic Walking Dead concluding statement from the comics that Rick says in this one. We're not The Walking Dead. So he kind of gets to adapt that for the TV series, and it's really great because, in a lot of ways, Daryl is sort of like the Daryl is sort of like the surviving Rick in the show up until this point when Rick actually does return. Aaron a little bit too. They kind of maybe share the role or something. With Ezekiel, having other stuff too that maybe in the comics would have been given to Maggie or somebody like that. So they do a good job of using that. I like the line; it was good with Daryl and everything, and getting to see at the end Daryl as he rides off into the kind of these some of these scenes at the end are epic. It's like almost like a Walking Dead movie. You get to see him ride off. You get to see the environment, some awesome environment shots. We get to see him ride by, I think it's a zombie Greg Nicotero, although I could be wrong, but it looks just like him as a zombie version, which I think is a nice Easter egg at the end there for him. Really cool. And, so anyway, they're right. There's the theme song, which is like the CM Punk theme song, Cult of Personality, I think it's called. And I thought they might go out with some kind of a boom, so they have like this. There's all these walkers everywhere. The place is flooded, so they decide to blow it up, which makes sense. Blowing up Pamela's house as well too in the gated community. So sort of like blowing up the elite section of the Commonwealth, which is pretty cool. And it's it's like a Walking Dead Michael Bay explosion. Just giant freaking explosion, which is really cool. And I enjoy it. So that was cool. It's one of the best explosions we've ever seen in The Walking Dead. It's probably the best. It makes me think of like Carol with No Sanctuary or something like that, but even better. So it goes out with a bang, that's for sure. Really great stuff. Negan and Maggie have some good dialogue, which is in the end, Maggie can still not forgive Negan and probably never will be able to, but it seems like he is kind of, indefinitely going to attempt to get her to forgive him, but it will never work, right? She never will. And so he's kind of cast out outside, but he gets a nod from Daryl when they're eating dinner afterwards. celebrating, but he doesn't get a spot at the table with him, which makes sense because you wouldn't think he would get one. So memories and stuff. Happy dinner. This part is I think Landslide's playing this part. This part's the saddest for me to see it ending because it's like we're so used to seeing each year. Now, granted, we had like the shutdown years and stuff, but since 2010, Walking Dead's been on every fall, every winter time, except for the switches the last few years, right? But since 2010, it's been on every fall, every winter. We get to see it really awesome off during the summer, and we get to see Fear or something else if you're interested. It's going to be sad to not have that there, but at the same time, the spin-off series give us enough to look forward to. But at the same time, it is still really, really sad, the parts with Rosita there and everything. And happy for Ezekiel, which is cool for him because it just feels like he'd be perfect for that at the Commonwealth. Connie and Daryl, Lydia, and Elijah and some of the others. And then we have Judith with Negan gives her the, is it a compass he gives her? Something like this. And then you get the happy ending. Now, they don't do, like in the comics, they have this future time skip where they go way into the future and you get to see Carl as an adult. I thought they might try to adapt that with Judith, but I'm really, really happy they didn't because when I was looking at it, I was like, does a 20-year time skip for Judith make sense? Like, does that make sense for the TV series version? It doesn't feel like it fits with the TV series. And so, luckily, they didn't do it. So they actually, in the end of The Walking Dead, they haven't really adapted all of the comics, even in this last episode, because in the comics, you get to see Carl in the future, which would be like a grown-up Judith. And they don't really, like way in the future, like many, many years down the line. They don't really do that. They kind of do it with a skip where it involves everybody celebrating and everything like that, post the battle and post everything like that, and then the group kind of splitting off with Daryl leaving and the other stuff happening and kind of peace. So I like the ending for the TV series much better than the comic ending. The comic ending I felt like was just okay. It wasn't this good. This is much better, and you get to see Rick return and everything in these last scenes, Michonne too, and it's just awesome. So can't wait to see what's going on with CRM General Rick, or whatever his position is there at the CRM as he's trying to escape. And we have, let's see, so we have all that, and I think that's pretty much it. We get some awesome scenes with Carol and Daryl. They tell each other they love each other, which is great, and you see them kind of part ways. So that's that, and Michonne and Rick to finish things off. CRM tells Rick to surrender and no escape for the living, live, and then CRM Rick to kind of finish things off, and that's it, dudes. So it's an amazing episode. It's one of the best Walking Dead episodes ever, for certain. I was concerned that maybe the finale wouldn't be that good, but it is. I'm going to give it a perfect 10 out of 10. I think it exceeded maybe an 11 out of 10. I don't do that above perfect. Like it's perfect and then some. Yeah, like 11 out of 10, I guess. I don't do that. I just say 10 out of 10 because I don't think it makes sense. But I'm not one of those people who does that. But it's a perfect ending, right? You get an exciting final battle for Commonwealth, even though maybe they could have taken a full year to do the Commonwealth stuff and done 16 episodes. But if they did that, it probably wouldn't be as exciting and as pedal to the metal. And if you drag it out too much as well, you also risk losing some viewers, and it isn't as epic as if you do it all, in 8.5 episodes or 9 episodes or whatever, however you want to count this. So I loved it, man. I loved it. I'm sad to see the original Walking Dead series go, but at the same time, it does have to end at some point. And so this is as good a time as any. If they would have kept it going for more years, you'd probably continue to lose some viewers each year, and then it might hurt your ability to do any spin-off series you want to do. So definitely am super happy with how this turned out. It's a really sad but yet happy, bittersweet ending for Walking Dead. Explosions, an awesome finale battle for lots of zombies everywhere, an exciting finale battle. Cool time skip, happy for everybody, in and around, happy for all the characters. Sad for Rosita. And then excited to see what they can work in with Rick here. Now, I'm not expecting too much with the Rick and Michonne spinoff. I'm just expecting like 2 seasons or something, and it should be pretty good. But yeah, you know, with the original Walking Dead series ending, I'm kind of seeing it as like, you know, the bulk of the Walking Dead is over. The comic storyline has been almost totally, you know, adapted. And so now it's kind of open to what they want to do with each sets of each of the characters. But yeah, but this is a true ending. This is a full ending for the Walking Dead original series, and then just set up for sequels for the spin-offs that they wish to do with it, which we'll see how those are received. That's it for this review, guys. Your comments below. How did you feel about the ending of The Walking Dead? Are you satisfied with it? Is anybody disappointed with it? You felt like it wasn't what it was? I'm actually, I didn't think it was going to be this good, and I'm saying like, no, this was really something special. This was a great way to finish off the series. So happy with how they did this. Could have been longer, but that wouldn't. You could have done 16. You could have done another year or 2, but it's got to end at some point. You might as well do it now, and they did a great job of how they did do it. So that's it for this review, guys. See you again soon for another. As always, it's Trev, and I'm saying peace later, guys. See you soon.